What on earth? I'm sorry, I had this, if you see me looming, I had this thing come up on the screen and I didn't know what it was. I had to kind of read it. And it's tiny writing, like the smallest writing about everybody being safe. So I hope you're safe. Never seen that come up before. But yeah, hopefully all safe and, you know, tickety. So I'm just finding the chat. Hope my phone doesn't go off loud. I'll put it on silent. There we go. That's cool. Right. Let's see who... Oop, hello. Chat's moved. Let's see who... Oh, let me in. Might not see you. Ah, here we go. Paula D, Bill, Bryony, Rafi, and Lucy. Hello, welcome. And Danielle Lee, hi. Woo woo, good to see you. Good to see you all. I'll keep my eye on this for new people coming in. I used to sit here a long time ago when I did lives. I used to sit here with a laptop and the thing used to shine in my face for a start and make me look really weird. But I used to read it like gigantic, kind of make it big so I could see the chat coming in. And you know, it's just so much easier doing it with this. Hi Sylvia and Tammy. Woohoo! Don't forget the thummies, everybody. So yeah, it's been a while since I did a live stream. I said I was going to do them quite often, didn't I? And I haven't really got round to it. I'm hoping that the light holds out and doesn't just go on me. It might, you never know. In other words, you get a really nice view of my legs. Hi Kim. Your dog just heard me and he's barking. Hello. Hello boy. Sorry, couldn't resist that. Everybody's dogs don't like. It's like when I said the A word, tell everybody a joke, and everybody's A suddenly told them a joke, you know. That's the one. I could do it again. You could all get a nice joke out of it. Hi, Kathy. Welcome. Don't forget the thummies. So I'm come armed with a nice cup of tea in my best ever mum mug, which it always tastes really good out of that mug. And one of these, which is a zero drink, and it's quite nice. It's pink lemonade. But isn't it weird how tea can sometimes taste just so much better out of one mug than others? And it's bizarre. It used to be that if you had tea out of maybe China, it would taste different and really, really nice. And it was kind of the perfect vessel, if you like. It was made for it. But now they have kind of like earthenware mugs and pottery mugs of all sorts. But some really do taste better than others. It's just, it is funny, but it works. It's something to do with how it, I don't know. I want to be all intelligent and tell you, but I can't. I don't understand it myself. Doll. So that kind of blew that one out of the water, really, didn't it? Oh, that is quite hot, though. So I have to keep my eye on it, otherwise I'll be glugging it down. You know I don't like doing that in front of you all. So I didn't know whether it was a toss-up between doing a live stream here on Rocksteady or a live stream on Crochet Rocks, but I figured it's this one. This channel is really in desperate need of watch hours, so I would do it here, and that way I don't. And also when I do them on Crochet Rocks now, I tend to do like work a little bit, which would be perfect because I could have done some swatches for another video, and I got on with my mile a minute. This is my new project, if you haven't seen it. And I've been working on this. I know that the colours are, it's Stylecraft Batik and Bellissima. So at the moment I'm just using all of these up and getting a colour that looks the same. So the next one's teal, and it's just going to be like all the different colours that I've got. And it's the modern granny stitch that I'm doing it with, and it's really working out quite well. I like it. I had to fiddle around with the cornering, but now I've got that how I like it. It's nice and flat, and it works out so much better kind of in terms of flatness than the other granny stitch. So that's pretty cool. It is weird, isn't it? It's true. I mean, I remember seeing once about a program about tea, and it's one of those things that's on and you can't be bothered to turn over, but you're not going out your way to watch it. You know what I mean? One of those. So you haven't got round to finding the remote to flick it over, sort of thing. And they were going on about tea and how the origins of tea, the history of it all, and everything, and how, you know, they made cups and out of China to enhance the flavour of tea. It's something to do with the, you know, if you've got sound, it's acoustics, but it's similar, but it's something else with in terms of tea and drinking and a vessel for it. So I think it depends on the kind of stuff it's made from and the shape of it. But every now and then I'll get like a chunky cup that tastes really good. So we've got these ones that are kind of that shaped, and they're like mugs. We were given them by Charlotte when she didn't want them anymore, and tea tastes fantastic out of those. And yet they're not China, but they're just kind of this shape. It tastes so good. And funny enough, I've got a China one that's this shape. Tastes even better because it's China, I guess. So it is weird, but it is one of those things. But if I were you know, a crazy scientist with wild hair, well, I've got the wild hair, but not the crazy science part, I could probably explain it to you. But you know, just saying. You know, wish I'd paid more attention in science. I'd love to be like, you know more about physics and stuff like that. Back in the day, it interested me enough to do well at school without trying. So I should have realised that science was where my kind of where my talents were leaning, and I didn't. And so biology and science I did very well at without trying. And it never occurred to me to try, you know, like go back and do that again and try. Went completely in the opposite direction. Oh, well, one of those things. Ancient history now. Isn't it weird how, I don't know about you, but I can remember things about school like they were yesterday. But remember yesterday's, some of the things. And Gary said, I told you this, and I go, you actually didn't. And I don't know whether he actually thought of it and didn't tell me, because I've actually got, I'm saying actually a lot, quite a good memory. When I was young, I used to have this thing where I was stuck on the word actually, and it used to bug me. And I'd find myself, I could hear myself saying it over, actually, all through sentences. And Gemma's the same with literally. She says literally all the time. And she was messaging me, and just seriously, in her blurb there was, because it was a voice message, literally she said it about 6 times in the one message. Okay, I was gonna say something back literally, but I didn't. Kind of was tired, so I didn't do it. But yeah, it's funny how we get stuck on things, isn't it? Like little quirks. And people that get stuck on a saying or a mannerism, like people who end a conversation or end a sentence and go, you know? I always go like, yes, of course I know. And Gary says, you know, can you hear me? Or, can you hear me, woman? Or, did you hear me? And I go, of course I did. Of course I can hear you. You're very loud. You know, it's like, I'd have to have earplugs in and bury my head under the cushion to not hear you. But I suppose it's his way of saying, do you get what I mean? But I don't know why people need that reassurance that you've understood what they're saying. Because, you know, you speak the same language after all. It's plain what they're saying. But they all do it, you know. You know what I mean? Or you know. Or the worst one was my mother-in-law had some awful ones. She used to say, oh, and he turned round and said, and then I turned round and said, and then he turned round and said, and I just think, oh. So one day I went, hang on a sec, did he do this? And I'm like, did he do that and then say it? She's like, no, he didn't turn around then. And so, you know, we were giggling about it, and she was like, no. And then she became quite conscious of the fact that she, And she would say like, and then I turn around and say, well, I didn't actually turn around and say it, but you know, just it was my turn. And so it was quite funny. But yeah, people do that, don't they? They get stuck on a thing that becomes their saying or their mannerism. Like you turn around and said, where does that come from? Because you don't turn around, you know. And the one that is now, it's like I said like, and he said like, and it was, and then I said like, and then he said like. What's like got to do with it? You know, but we're all there. We're all in the like. Everything's like, you know. Likes become the thing. Very annoying. I don't like it, but, you know, don't like it. Sorry. I've got stuck in that, haven't I? With 100%. Mike says something. I can't say that. Trust. He has that. He always says that. But he has one thing. When you said that, it popped into my mind, but it popped straight back out again. And I've become aware of the fact that he'll say that. And, you know, but he's always... When my kids were young, Paul didn't really have street talk. He was just had conversation. But Mike was one that always had the slang, the street slang that was going around at the time. And at one point, it was horrible stuff, you know, like calling your blood and stuff like that. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Do not call me blood, you know. But, yeah, he grew out of that, thank goodness. But he does have a lot of mannerisms. Gary has a few, but not so many, you know. Just, can you hear me? Do you understand what I mean? No, he wants reassurance that I've understood the words that are coming out of his mouth. But I wondered if that's something to do with the fact that he is deaf, you know, because it's, I don't know. You know, I'm going to put my fan on. I'm getting hot. Getting animated, that's why. Rather animated. But yeah, it is interesting, I think. It's one of those things, you know, and culture has something to do with it. Because, you know, back in the 70s, everything was man and everything was groovy, and the 60s and 70s. And that was kind of the words. And then it became word. Everything was, oh, you know what I'm saying? Word. You know, word was the word. And now there's always a word, isn't there? But some of the words, I used to do that on my channel. I used to like look up popular slang. And then there was some really stupid ones that were coming through. And I actually heard it the other day. What was that word? I thought it was pretty stupid, and I'd never heard it. And then somebody actually said it in one of their podcasts, and I thought, no, they actually said that. Well, what was it? It's going to bug me now because it's gone totally out of my head. But it was a stupid. Oh, it came in very tantalisingly. Came close then, and then just as I was going to remember, it went, no, I'm not going to let you remember. Oh, it's really gonna annoy me. But on fleek, that was it. If it was on fleek, it is, you know, it's the end thing. And I thought, I've never heard that. I've never heard anyone say it. That's just a load of rubbish. And then somebody said it the other day, because that was on fleek. And I thought, no, they actually said that. Stupid saying. I guess all generations reinvent the wheel, don't they? Kind of. This is our buzzword. This is our in word. On fleek, though. Where the heck does that come from? And at least groovy and man are like interesting stuff. And I don't know. Well, what have you all been up to? I've had a busy couple of days, to be honest with you. I've got ahead of myself. I did my new Hump Day giveaway, which comes up tomorrow. I filmed it today. I can't film the winners though until tonight, until the official end of it. So I'll film that winners before I go to bed. So that'll be that. Probably have to do it in the Yarna van, so don't wake Gary. But I'll kind of do that. So I've got a little bit ahead of myself, which is not a bad thing. And I'm competing now with my own video, which will come up on Crochet Box, which is a swatches video. I did one of the new yarns that I bought for my shop, well, my online shop, let's call it. It's not really a shop, is it? It's an online shop, and it was the Stylecraft impressions. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous yarn, and I really wanted to see what it looked like worked up, so I did the swatches with that, and that's coming up at, well, it's scheduled for 3, so I'm going to be competing with my own self, which is a bit weird. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing, and I figured today was an easy day for dinner. We just got steak, and that's stuff that you do really, you know, it doesn't take hours to cook, not like yesterday. Hottest day of the year yesterday so far. I mean, it might be hotter today, but up until that point it was scorching. And what did I decide to do? Roast lamb. Yeah, roast lamb. But at least the house was cooled down with the aircon. Hi Lisa, welcome. Don't forget the thumbie. So I thought I saw somebody pop in then. But yeah, I kind of thought, you know, I've not done a live stream for a while. I've got well out of the habit again, and I'd only just got back into the habit. And I will do one of these days. I will do an evening one over on Crochet Vox, because I used to do them all the time in the evenings. But when Gary's off, I can be as loud as I want in here. But I often think I'll do them out in the I do them out in my Yarnavan, which is my online shop, and then it gets dark, and I think, do I really want to go out there? It's dark. But it's a secure garden, and you know, I feel pretty safe. The worst thing that could happen to me is I get meowed at by next door's cat, or as I'm walking through, one of my neighbours will talk to me over the fence and freak me out. But other than that, is about the thing that will happen. You know, nothing else kind of gets in the garden ever, and so it's just one of those things. It's dark. Don't I want to go out there in the dark, being a big farty. Hi Kim, doing a full granny square exchange. You have to send it to 13 people. I've not heard of that. I guess I can never go through life with my eyes shut. I don't know, but I never get to see all these, you know, when people do stuff like that and get involved in that sort of thing, and when they do the hat not hate things, and I never see the start of them. I never do. So I never get kind of into it. It's not to say I wouldn't do it, but I never get there. I did think once that maybe I would sort of make a blanket with other people making me a square. I thought that would be quite a cool, like get my subscribers to send me a square as long as they were of a certain size. And then I could do my invisible join for them, so it didn't matter what colour they chose. But yeah, I did think about doing that. I don't know if people would like that idea or not. But yeah, I thought that might be cool. And then it would be either a case of give it to a homeless shelter or something like that for the winter, or just keep it to show people. I don't know what to do with it really, whether to benefit somebody or just keep it. The exchange is in a Granny Square group on Facebook. Okay, I very rarely go on Facebook. I used to start, I did start using it for business, and the strangest thing happened. I kind of, and a lot of people have been saying stuff like this lately, and I've noticed it, that Facebook think I am some kind of spam. They think I'm either a crook or some kind of spam, because the minute I start, you know, and I'm a legitimate business called hobbyrocks.co.uk, but the minute I start doing anything, it gets no, you're not allowed to do this. And there have been people that I've been looking at that have had their accounts blocked just by putting up a post of a make they've made. Now, as far as I'm aware, terrorist groups have never used crochet or yarn in any of their bomb making. So I have no idea what is so dangerous. It can seriously deplete your bank balance. I'll give them that. But other than that, I don't get it. I really don't. And I can't understand. And I actually appealed it because it came up one time with a denial. And then it said appeal this decision. So I put in an appeal and lost, but they didn't say, no, this is what we've got, this is why we've decided it, you know, this is what we hold on file, this is the reason. It's just like, no, we've reviewed it, no. So I'm just like of the mind to say, well, up yours, you know. I don't like Facebook anyway, so, and I really don't. When it first came out, you know, people were doing Bebo and other little MySpaces and stuff like that. And then Facebook hit and everybody was getting their Facebook pages and you could meet up with your family and your friends and you could chat. Now it's nothing like that. Absolutely nothing like that. And I don't like it one little bit really. But I get on there now and then and I share stuff and I read stuff and I look at pictures that of the grandchildren and stuff like that. But I miss so much because it's just so much adverts and memes and business pages who don't get blocked, but they're full of dribble, you know, like see, what was your first memory as a child, or what's your favorite color out of blue or green? Yeah, who cares, basically, you know, rubbish. And what was the first film you ever saw? And when you look, it's not from your friend. It's from some business who wants to earn money. I don't know. I just got very, very disheartened. Sorry if I'm crouching, but I feel like it's definitely dropping. And there's not much I can do about it. It's broken and I need to get a new one. So I think if I slouch and look really cash, then that'll work. It's not that I'm really slouching and cash. It's because my light's broken. My ring light. Need a new one. Cheers, guys. Might have to gulp it down. I've been chatting and forgetting about the tea. It's still just drinkable. Did you see my Santa sack? This is my new little idea for Christmas in the shop. Now that has got about 5 or 6 skeins of 100-gram balls in it. And it's full. Now you could put like 5 skeins in and a couple of accessories and it'd be full. So what I was thinking of doing some pre-filled ones and doing some where you can fill them yourself, so that you could choose the bag. I can think of the word. You could choose the sack. That's the word. Then choose what you want to put in it, and then choose where you want to send it. And I could do it as a Secret Santa. Could do it as a this is from so and so. And you know, that stops you having to post it yourself. You just buy it, choose where you want it to go, and I'll do the posting. So that's my kind of little idea, and we're working on it. Getting that as a little pop-up, maybe. I have not got any pop-ups yet. I've never really wanted them, but I thought something like that could be a nice little pop-up because it's seasonal and you might not see it otherwise. So yeah, that's my new little thing. It's a Santa one. I think I've got another one on order coming. I don't know if it'll be the same size or not. Hi, I always say Alley Cat. Welcome. How are you? Good to see you. Don't forget the thumbie. And now I've probably forgotten everybody's. When you have a channel name like that, I always forget your name, and it doesn't matter how many times you tell me. I don't do lives often enough to remember. So I do apologise in advance. I used to have a really sharp memory. Don't know where that went. Sylvia, Santa Sex are a great idea. Facebook is just ads. You never see friends post unless you type the names in. No, exactly. And I used to go on there and I used to see all of my cousins. I don't have them. I didn't have their phone number or anything like that. And we only ever used to see each other at funerals or a wedding, but mostly a funeral, you know. And so it was good because I could go on there and I could see what Suzanne was doing, or I would see Denise or something like that, or Carolyn, and cousins I don't ever see. So that was good then. And you know, you could see what your kids were posting. They might not be talking about it to your face, but you'd see what's going on in their lives through the pages of Facebook, and pictures of you know, grandkids and that sort of stuff. You could just nick them off. That was great. I didn't mind that. And friends that you were at school with found you, and that wasn't bad. And then all of a sudden business took hold of Facebook, and that was the end of Facebook. as a tool for keeping in touch with your friends and family. Then it just became a way of making money out of you, like so much is, you know, so much is. So it went drastically downhill, and I've bought a few things that I see off of ads on there, and it's never what you buy is never what they show, and it always is a scam. So I don't bother now. If I like something on there, say if an advert pops up and I think that's pretty decent, I'll find the name of it and then I go search for it, and I find out what it really is called and who it's by, and then I put it in proper search engines and find it that way. It's the only way, because the pictures you see is not what you get at all. And to a certain extent, I've heard that of Temu. I've done a few Temu orders myself, one of which was a bogus order because they didn't show me that stuff that was out of stock, or that was, you know, part of my order that hadn't come yet. And so I ordered some things twice, which is really annoying. But I'm doing those as a thing on this channel, like a little unboxing. And then all the crafty ones I'm going to put in one video to go over on Crochet Rocks channel. Once I've separated them out from the kitchen utensils and little bits and bobs that are nothing to do with it all. Right, I'm just going to finish this tea. I have to sort of sing amongst yourselves. It's a bit much actually. And I have to try not to slurp, which I really hate. Yeah, me too. I was just funny. I just said the same thing. But yeah, I do that. And usually it is Amazon, but I kind of search for it on, you know, Google and see what's what, and then usually plump to buy it from Amazon because I know I won't have to pay the postage. Well, maybe if it's on, get rid of the moustache. I maybe won't have to pay the postage if it's part of the Prime. But you know, I'm a little bit annoyed with, annoyed with them in a way, because you used to be getting a lot for your money with your Amazon Prime. You'd get all of the programs and box sets, and then occasionally you'd want to watch something that is pay per view, and it's your choice whether you wanted to do it or not. But now they've got Stars, they've got some other, there's about 3 or 4 different paid subscription services, and there's something if you want to watch it and it's on there but you can't watch it because it's part of this, you've got to pay another £5 a month for that. And so if you grabbed all of those things, you would probably be paying more for that than you would for Sky, or you know, for something else. It just doesn't make any sense to me that they're fragmenting. And if it's on Amazon, you should be getting it. That's weird. I turned my fan off and it's still going. I have this in the caravan, you know. I was out there, as I say, recording that giveaway, and I've got behind my mannequin where my little sweater thing is, top. Let's not call it a sweater because it's not really. There's the switches, so I switch it off, and I look at the light, and you get this. Now this one's a little bit broken. It used to have a little blue light to tell you it was on, but that one's still got a blue light, and you think it's not turned off. So it's actually in a little two-way plug thing that's got a little bank of them, you know. So they've got individual switches, so I switch that off, and I look, and it's still got a blue light. So it's switched off at the wall plug. It's actually switched off on the extension, and it's still on. I think, well, that can't really be true, can it? So and I know what it is. There's still current getting from that plug on the wall. The switch doesn't turn it off properly, and so you have to really press in the one that's on the plug bank. It's really hard, and then it will go off. And you think, this is really wrong. And it's not just that one. It's happening so many times now. And you think you've turned off that plug socket, and you really haven't. So what I think then is, when we turn off our chargers, you know, you keep them plugged in, and you might think, I don't want them to be, you know, ticking away at my electricity, staying plugged in. I'll switch the plug off. Well, if it's anything like that one, it's not going to be turning it off at all. The only sure way to know that you're not paying to continually charge that is to unplug it in the first place. So yeah, it's worth thinking about that, isn't it? I mean, we just assume that when we switch those things off, they all go off. Unless there's a light attached to it, you don't really know it's actually gone off. And it's amazing, really. It was a bit of an eye-opener because I've got it. It's happened on 2 separate plug sockets, one in the house and one out there in the caravan. Yarna van. So yeah, a bit bizarre. I'll have to get Gary's brother to look at it. He's an electrician. He'll know. Hi, Kim. Oh, I've got 2 Kims. Look at that. You'll be listening along. Okay, thank you very much. Don't forget the thummy. Now I'll do it harder. Turned it off that time. How strange is that? Isn't it funny? It does go to show, though, you know, when you think you're turning off your appliances to save electricity, and you might not be after all. Unless it's something you can actually hear that's gone off. How do you know? Chances are yours work better than mine, but it does seem strange that it's in 2 different places that it's happened. So I don't know how long I've been babbling away, but I'm going to have to keep my eye on it because I do have to do the dinner today. Well, I have to do the dinner most days, to be honest with you. And while Gary was off over the weekend, he cooked for me, and it was quite nice, I have to say, to be cooked for. But I think, you know, he's trying to figure out low-carb things that we can have that are different. And I know that he's been really missing out, or feeling like he's missing treats. So today he had a Warrior bar, and although they are quite high in carb, they're still low carb, if that makes any sense. So I just thought, you know, and every now and then it does your body good to have something that is not the same amount all the time, because, you know, you get kind of used to it and your body holds on to water weight and stuff like that. So I figured we could both use it. We could both do with a treat, and I know Gary was itching for one, and we had that. It was lovely. Always tastes better when someone else cooks. They do, don't they? I'll tell you what else tastes better when he does it. Tea. Now, I have biscuit tea. Sometimes I have toast and jam tea. But I do sell these in my shop, which is why I've got one in here. But and that was I did one as a giveaway as well, so that was one that I brought in here to show. But yeah, we both make the same tea, but if he makes it, so much better. And yet I've watched him. I actually thought I will watch how he does this tea to see if he, like, maybe I squeeze the bag and he doesn't squeeze the bag, and we do exactly the same thing, but his tastes so much nicer than mine. Maybe it's because I haven't made it. You felt bad not spelling people's names correctly. Yeah, Tracy. When I was a kid, to be edgy and pathetic, I used to spell my name Trayc, because it still says Tracy. But yeah, you know, we all go through that phase of wanting to be a bit different. But Trayc, not Tracy. Yeah. And I used to have one of the schools I went to, that we was a hockey team made up of the class, you know, and out of the 7 hockey players, 5 of us were Tracy. Was very messy. If she shouted out "Tracy attack," that got messy. But you know, we used to like say, "Oh, your name's not Tracy, it's Tracky," and I'd say, "Mine's Tracy, yours is Tracy." You know, you just like little bits of banter about your name. Hi, Karen. Things with chargeable battery may still draw electricity to recharge. Hi, Danielle. They are always better if someone else makes it. It's weird though, isn't it? Because, you know, I do love a cup of tea, and especially the first one in the morning, but they just taste so much better when made for you. It is odd though, because this is turning off at the actual mains. You know, you're turning it off at the main socket. Shouldn't actually be, and it is basically just one of those, like a phone charger. And I've watched it, the light doesn't go off, and I push it in extra hard and the light goes off. So it's definitely a connection problem, but it's, you know, it's quite interesting that you could be getting charged when you think it's off. That's not right. Julie and Karen. Julie, I was just telling everyone about my Warrior bar. Oh, I had the Reese's one. It was amazing. Julie sent them to me. This is why I'm telling her. She sent me a box of them, a whole box. And I thought, oh, I did eat a couple. I let Gary have one, and I had maybe 2 over all that time. But I thought, I'm not going to waste these. I'm going to save it for when I'm doing low carb, and I will keep them. So they've been in my cupboard waiting, and I thought yesterday, you know, Gary hasn't got great stuff to take to work, and he really is missing a treat. So I put one out for him with a little note. And it was, I said, you know, this is for you to take to work. And don't worry, you can have it. And he put underneath it, yay, sugar! At last. Silly man. It was beautiful. It was kind of like Reese's Cup one, you know. And my favourite thing is nutty, kind of peanutty chocolate. Do love that. So yeah, it was phenomenal. I had mine last night as I was hungry before bed, and I thought, I'm not going to sleep if I don't eat. So I just had that cup of tea, stayed up a little bit longer, and then went to bed happy, all chocolatey. But yeah, I know Gary has been sort of missing it. But we were doing the early stage, so kind of, you know, more of a stricter kind of induction. And then the first thing that I did that was different was I made bang bang cauliflower with some almond flour to sort of make it crispy. So yeah, bang bang cauliflower was the first thing that was not induction. And so then I thought, well, we haven't really had much. Let's have this. So yeah, it kind of just breaks up the monotony of, no, you can't have that. No, you can't have that. No, you can't have that. You know, now at least he feels like it's not the end of the world, and you can have something that's tasty now and then. Hello, Maritza. Hola. How are you? Don't forget the thummy. So as I said earlier, though, the strangest thing is I'm actually competing with my own video now. Because I did a swatch video that come up at 3 o'clock. I have no idea what the time is. Got to be around about. Oh, look, 1:15 nearly. So yeah, kind of competing with my own self, which is odd, I know, but so yeah, I kind of need I need a new light, you know. It is bad. I'm kind of now at the stage where I'm slouchy, and look, if I sit up, you can't see the top of my head. I look bald actually, because this part here has the light shining on it. So I kind of, this is what I'd look like if I was bald, but I'm not bald, so yeah. I do need to get a new one. It's annoying because this one has really done, you know, it's been good, and it's just the right colour. I like it a lot, and it's just the top part, it's getting more and more saggy, and so I'm getting lower and lower and lower and lower. I'll be on the floor in a minute. If it was to suddenly go, I will end off, just saying, because, you know, that would be the end of the world as we know it. Well, yeah, can't really be helped. Just the reason it broke is because it's like a plastic cover and a metal kind of gear, if you like, and so as it moves and turns, the metal just wears away that plastic, and so it's got now nothing to grip to, and it has tons and tons and tons of electrical tape, gaffer tape, holding it together. And as time goes by, that's getting more and more relaxed and saggy. And it actually dropped off this morning, so I had to do it again. But it's, you know, it's not good. It's not good at all. I will get a new one. So what have you all been up to then? I was a bit at a loose end. I thought I could get in the car and go film along the beach sort of thing, but it's so hot. I could not be bothered to find my extreme high factor sun cream. I didn't know where it was, and I would had to have gone looking for it and then driven in a hot car somewhere. So I figured, oh, perhaps I'll do that, you know, tomorrow maybe. I've done my not open with me. I've done my giveaway, and tonight I'll do the winner of my hump day. So I'll have a fresh afternoon to go do stuff. So perhaps tomorrow I can do that. Oh, one thing I forgot to tell everybody, that I have an appointment for the dermatologist. Yay! Oh, I don't know. I got a message today, a text. It said, you did not keep your appointment in Raynham on the 4th. And I thought I didn't have an appointment in Raynham on the 4th. So I phoned it and they said, oh, dermatology department. And I said, well, I didn't get an appointment. They said, I've been waiting for it. And they said, oh, I don't know what happened to the letter, but we did send one. And I said, well, I never got it, you know. The soonest they could put me in was October, the end of October. So, yeah, I'll be going then. And if it was either Rochester in November or Raynham in October. So I chose Raynham because there's a pub across the road to park in. And yeah, so then I shall go and see them, and I'll be looking forward to that, getting that done and getting a few answers on things. But finally, and so I actually had an appointment all along. I know, I can't believe that. I actually had an appointment and didn't know. And they said, did you not think to call us? And I said, well, yeah, I was thinking of chasing it up, but I've been so busy that, you know, busy life and everything. It's one of those things, I think, I must chase this appointment. I said, but, yeah, I should have done. But little did I know, I already had one. Never mind. All is well. I will have my appointment. But not looking forward to it, but I am, if you know what I mean. Because there's been a couple of things. A, I need allergy testing. And B, I want to show them the patches of skin to see whether they really are actinic keratosis. And, you know, I did that whole thing with the cream for it, that Effudix, which that's a treat for you if you've got subtitles on. It comes up really as a bit of an alarming thing for Effudix, but there you go. Another little one of those strange little quirks. But at least, you know, you can have a look at all those and see. Anyway, I'm going to get off now, upload this so the chat does all its stuff, and going to go and start looking in the kitchen, seeing what I can do with the steak for our dinner. It's been great though. I will do more live streams now I'm back in the swing. So thanks for joining me. And if there's any free time anywhere, this channel is desperately in need of the hours. So I would be eternally grateful. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now, everyone.